Hey, plant people, welcome. Good morning. At least it is for me here right now in the present moment at which I'm recording. We're going to do a Hoya collection updates video today, which I feel like I have not exclusively sat down and talk about my Hoya in such a long time. My focus has just been elsewhere. I talk about it all the time, how I am like obsessed with Anthurium primarily. And although Hoya, if you hear crunching in the background, as always, Sully is going crazy on his bone right now. So that is what that is. And please excuse that noise if it is very, because it's so loud in real time. But my focus has just been elsewhere. It's been on my Anthurium, trying to figure those out, get the tent set up. And Hoya are my second favorite genus to Anthurium, but I have just not had as much of a drive for them as I have for Anthurium in recent months. I still love them very much. I still love my Hoya, but even like really new, awesome, crazy looking Hoya that come out, I'm just not really interested in. Like, I don't feel that like feral, like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. So I thought that we could sit down together and talk about some updates and just show some love to my Hoya, some appreciation that they have not been receiving very much recently. The first one that we're going to talk about is one of my only Lycanosa in my collection, and it's my Queen Midori. And this girl has been amazing. You see how full and lush she is? When I got this, it was, from what I remember, and my memory is not that great, but from what I remember, it was like a 2 to 4. No, I do think it was more than 2. I think it was like a 4-leaf little plant. It was rooted, but it was like a single 4-leaf cutting that was rooted. And she grew really well. I chopped her up, I propagated her, just stuck her back straight in the soil. I did not water propagate her or anything, or put her in a prop box or anything like that. I just literally took the cuttings and stuck them right back in the soil. And I love it when a Hoya is like that. I can really easily just soil propagate it because I'm not trying to have propagations all over the place. But this one is so gorgeous. It is an intervariegated variety. And when the new growth comes out, it is quite pink. If you can see, like right here on this little vine. And then there's another one. Sorry, I just saw another one. There's another one right up here. You can see that's kind of pinkish, but I love that when the new growth comes out and it's kind of pink, and the variegation is so, so pretty. I've realized in recent times that I am much more of an outer variegated kind of gal. I noticed this first with Polynura varieties because I would really like, my normal Polynura is doing really, really great right now. So I'm feeling more confident, and I would really like a variegated variety of Polynura. And I was like thinking, do I like the inner variegated? Do I like the outer variegated? Do I like the Jasminka? Do I like the whatever that new one is that's like silver and variegated, the something king? I don't know. But I really, really prefer just the regular outer variegated. And I realized that that is the truth with most other Hoya as well. However, this one does not fall into that trope because I love this one with all of my heart. I also like that the backs have that kind of like stripy variegation on the back too, which is really cute. Like, she looks cute from both directions. And just overall, a very easy grower, fast propagator, and I've not really had much fuss from her since I've gotten her. I have an apology to make to this Gunyun Gading. How do you say that? I used to call it Gunyun Gating, but that's not right. It's Gunyun Gading or something like that. If you watch any of those old Hoya videos that I made where I talk so much trash about how difficult this guy was and how I regretted getting him, and he was just not worth it, he has really proved me wrong. He said, you know what? You can shut your mouth, lady. The backs, that red back, oh my gosh. It is very Callistophylla looking from the front, but it sun stresses much easier. Like, if you can see from, ooh, we got leaves everywhere. Okay, these leaves, it is starting to do that red sun stress, which is really cool. And then the backs of the leaves go this really like reddish, burnt orange kind of color. And I'm telling you, once it took it forever to put this vine out. It was this one leaf for forever, forever and ever and ever. And once I put this vine out, leaves are just shooting out all over the place. Now, do keep in mind, I have had this for like probably 2 years at this point, and it has just started growing. But it is looking really good, and it's got this vine that's going crazy up here, new leaves out the wazoo. And honestly, it's probably because I repot it and I've been fertilizing more regularly. So, you know, I'll admit that's on me. That was my bee, and it's happy now, and it is growing really fast. So I take back every bad thing that I said about this Hoya, because it turns out when you treat it well and give it what it needs, it grows really well. This is another one of my favorites that has not done anything in a fat minute. This one does not like to grow. I will say that she does not like to grow. I don't know what the dealio is. Y'all will really like her because she's super, look at how sun stressed she is right now. This is my Lambii. It's not, I don't think it's silver. I think it's just Lambii AFF. But the sun stressing on this one goes so crazy. She is so purple. She is this like crazy purple plum color. Come on, focus. And with the veins, the green veins and the purple and the pink splash on top of that. Yeah, she is so crazy looking. She has finally started growing again. So I'm hoping this year will be the year we get a new leaf on her, because I really genuinely do not think I had any new leaves last year. I mean, she's still beautiful. I still love to look at her and appreciate the crazy sun stressing and how gorgeous it is. But I would like it if it would grow and give me a new leaf at some point. I mean, there are some baby leaves on this stem, but honestly, you just never know how that's gonna go. But yeah, this one's always gonna be one of my favorites. I will never get rid of this Hoya, even if it never grows for me another leaf for as long as I have it, because this is bananas. This is one that I have been so happy with recently. This is my Hoya Colina, and I originally purchased it because she had the coolest splashing, like the way the splash presents, like the direction that it goes. I really loved how it kind of like fans away from that central vein. I thought that was so beautiful. And she just totally lost her variegation. Like you can see these leaves in the middle, totally lost, or her silver, totally lost the silver. And so I chopped her back, propagated her, put some of the propagations back in here, and she's growing again, and the splash is starting to come back. So I don't know what it was, if it was like I was not fertilizing her enough, or she was not warm enough, or was not getting enough light, or what, but she is growing so beautifully, and I adore how the sun stress looks on this. It has this kind of like bronzy copper tone to it, which looks so good with those dark green leaves. It's very like autumny looking. She's like moderately thin leaved. I would say she's like right between like your typical thick leaf Hoya and a thin leaf Hoya. And then that little silver splash in the round leaves, she is just so precious. And I'm so happy she's growing. I have several vines that are coming to fruition. I have like 2 on one of these growths down here, 3, 4, 5, 6 vines. So when this one really starts going, hopefully before too long, since it's getting pretty warm now, I think she is going to be so full and gorgeous. And also the backs of the leaves have that really coppery color too. So it's both directions. It's not just the front. And yeah, I just love her so much. She is so sweet. She has those cute little round leaves. She looks so good on a trellis. And I'm just so glad that her silver is starting to come back. It doesn't have to be like so intense, but I do like, you know, at least a little bit of the silver. I think it looks cute. Okay, so I have gathered the rest of the Hoya that I want to talk about for this video. We'll start with one of my all-time favorite Hoya, which scares me to death all the time because I just don't know what I would do if I lost this Hoya, because I never see it offered anywhere to repurchase it. And it's definitely one of my very top favorites, if not my favorite. But I do think it's my favorite. I'm just scared to get too attached to it because I would be devastated if anything happened to it. And it's my Blangbecke. Blangbecke. I don't know how to say that. But this is what it looks like. You have likely heard me talk about this several times on the channel. But this one has really cool splash, but the main feature is how wavy the leaves are. So it has got these like crazy long, I love a wavy leaf. That is one thing about me. And it has got super duper wavy leaves. And then the backs, the veining on the backs is absolutely crazy. Do you see that? It looks like, it makes me think of like Venom from Spider-Man. Like how it looks like, or it's like zombie, it has a zombie infection or something, the way that it just like branches out from there. And it doesn't have any of that veining on the front, which is weird. It's only on the back. But the front is equally beautiful with that splash. But it's got beautiful front, beautiful back, but they're beautiful in different ways. Wavy leaf, sharp, long leaves. Yeah, it's just, I've really never seen a Hoya that looks just like this. And I'm happy to report that it is growing fairly well at present. It has this vine right here, and then it has the original growth point, which is this portion. But that one does have a couple of nubs, like it's trying to start growing also. So hopefully I'll have a few vines of this and I'll be able to sell some cuttings or something of this in the future, because I really just don't see it very often. This one, I'm gonna have to put the name on the screen because I genuinely do not remember. I'm fairly certain it's an Ake, whatever, because it has the purple vein on the back, but I just can't remember the name and I keep forgetting to make a plant tag for it. This was the last Hoya that I purchased, and this was probably 6 or so months ago. And I really like this one because it has this really cool splash pattern that is just really interesting. It's kind of like freckly, but it's more concentrated around the edges rather than just the central vein, which I really, really liked. And then, of course, I love that purple veining. Anything Ake is my favorite. This one may honestly be staying too damp because the roots look a little rotty, so should let this one dry out a little bit more. But it is growing well for me. It has this really big, thick tendril. We have got some new leaves that are coming in, namely that one right there. It does have some of the little ones that are still kind of like flat to the petiole up there, but it's like, who knows if that's going to turn into anything. But that one's looking pretty promising. And then the last two leaves that it gave me, which are these two, it came with this big one back here. So the leaves can get pretty dang large. And then it came with, no, it gave me this one next. So this one grew in my care, but it is yellowing a little bit. Probably has something to do with the over watering. I'm assuming I really need to keep an eye on that. And these are the two newest leaves, which have that really cool, gorgeous, freckly, speckly splash, kind of like towards the margins of the leaves. And I'm really excited to see what this one's going to do. And if, hopefully before too long, I'll start getting these really large leaves. Because I think that would be so cool with like this splash. And they do look like they have the potential to get a little wavy too, because this one has like a little bit of a wave to it. And then, yeah, like I said, the purple veins on the back. Absolutely gorgeous. Even though I have not been really on a Hoya kick recently, I saw this one, I was like, oh yes, that is calling my name. Okay, this one is Hoya Pimentiana Albo. Is that focusing? I can see. And this one is a really cool, unique Hoya. She has been growing really well. She is on the thinner leaved side. She's yellowing a bit on these lower leaves because I had originally gotten her from Pawn, and I transitioned her into the mix that I use for my Hoya, which is my rejected Anthurium mix, which just has it's tree fern, sphagnum moss, orchid bark, and perlite. And she has done pretty well. She's only really yellowing those lower leaves. And she is growing pretty well up here at the top. So all of this is new growth, like from this set of leaves going forward. She's put all of those out since I transitioned her from Pawn to that mix. So she's doing really well. This one also is very, very pink when it comes out. Now these leaves are kind of like hardening off at this point, so they are not showing the pink quite as well. But you can still see it in those elbow portions, how it has that really cute baby pink color, which I always love. And then her variegation is just really lovely. Like I said, I do tend to gravitate towards the outer variegated versions of this. And I was actually influenced to get this one from Plants by Melissa because she was talking about how much she loved the texture of it because it's like kind of like suede-y, velvety. And it is. It has this like really interesting texture. It is on the thin leafed side, like I said, so you do just have to be a little bit more careful with watering. But the texture is just really cool. Like I've not ever felt another Hoya texture that feels really like this. It's right between kind of like a suede and a velvet to me is what it feels like. But yeah, and I love that she has the ability to have these like really highly variegated leaves, and then you have some leaves that are like mildly variegated, and then some that are like pretty balanced. And I really love her growth pattern. It looks like she's one of those that likes to like lay over, and the leaves kind of like grow out and like to hang. So I may actually, yeah, just let her do that and kind of like hang over once she gets going. I do think that I'm going to check on the roots on this one though, because yeah, those lower leaves are yellowing a little bit, and I like to just be a little careful because I really do not want to lose this one. This next one, this dang thing had been a 2-leaf, 2 different cuttings with a single leaf, stumps essentially, for like a year and a half before it started growing for me. It's the Verticillata SP Sulawesii. And the reason I wanted this one so bad was because, or I had originally gotten it, man, I'm dropping perlite everywhere, was because it sun stresses really this like dark burgundy, and the spots or the splashy silver area turns this like really hot pink, which I love. Incredibly difficult. This one was hated everything that I did for it forever until one day it just suddenly didn't, and decided that it was okay with the way that it was set up, and it was just going to start growing. And she did it. Now she's got several vines sticking out all over the place, and she's constantly putting out new leaves. You can see how at the bottom how like burgundy it is with those really hot pink. And these other leaves are just wanting to take the spotlight. But if you can see that one right down there, like how bright it is. And then the top ones, which are the closest to the grow light, are this like really dark plum. And they have that hot pink splashing on it from where the silver has sun-stressed pink. Maybe you can see it a little bit more on this leaf. Yeah, I adore this one. Actually, this one kind of has a little bit of that sub-velvety texture to it as well. Not nearly as much as the Pimentiliana, whatever I just said, the last one that I showed you. But it does still have a little bit of that texture. And she has just a pretty color to her leaves. Like the green is so nice. And then the sun stressing is really nice. And the backs of the leaves, especially when she's sun stressed, do go that like really plum burgundy color, which is really nice. Like I love it when they sun stress and you can see that from both directions. I might need to like re-clip her here because she's just falling all over the place. This guy, this is just a cutting that I took from my regular old Hoya pubicalyx that was showing this like really intense splashing. So I was trying to kind of isolate that because I think it looks so pretty. And you see how big these freaking leaves are? Like I was not expecting the leaves to continue to get so large because it is like really highly silver. I don't know if that affects things the same way as variegation affects things. But like this one over here, you see how it's like almost a half moon with a silver splash. And this was just a random vine that had popped off that was showing all of this silver. And it does look like this portion up here does not have nearly as much splash. So I may cut it back to like right before this to try to get it to regrow with more of this silver. That's just kind of what you have to do sometimes to isolate that splashy pattern. But she looks so good. Hoya pubicalyx, one of the best Hoyas. Like this will never be underrated to me. She gets huge leaves, but they're really narrow and long, and they have so many variants with like the splashing and variegation and all of that. And she is just so gorgeous, especially when she gets settled and starts growing. Like I don't even have her on a trellis. She's just like wobbling around. and she looks so good. Another one of my favorites, my Hoya Una. She is such an easygoing gal. She thrives in whatever environment I put her in. She grows so fast once she gets settled, and she is capable of putting out these giant, gorgeous leaves. This one has more of like a matte texture, a little bit of a wave to the leaf margin. Really pretty splashing that does go a little bit pink when it starts to sun stress, but not a lot. It's like a very faint tinge of pink. It's not really intense like the last one that I showed you. And she just looks so pretty. Like some Hoya just have really nice growth patterns. They look really good and like kind of full when they start going and vining and you get them trellised up nicely. And this is one of those. I have not had a single complaint for her. Even when she's been in the worst conditions, she has still had no complaints, has still grown just fine. And I just really appreciate her. If you like these kind of like dark margined, splashy, larger leaved Hoyas, and you are trying to get something that's really, really easy, this would definitely be a good option for you. So I've got two left to talk about. The next one is my Hoya Crassier Silver. And this is just a really gorgeous Hoya. Like there is just no way around this. I love that she is fine with lower light because everything can't be highlight, okay? Like some are gonna have to go to the back of the shelf. Some are gonna have to be in a lower light area. That's just the way that it is. And this one, for it to be so highly silver splashed is just really prefers lower light. So you could put her in an area that is not like right under those really bright grow lights. She propagates super, super easy. I propagated this one just by putting her back in the soil in sphagnum moss and water, roots super duper fast. And she just has such gorgeous silver leaves. This one is a very thin-leaved Hoya, so it does not have those thick succulent leaves at all, like other Hoya you may have come across. This is like having a pothos, essentially. I mean, honestly, I think pothos leaves may be thicker than these leaves are. So they are a little bit more susceptible to things like spider mites, which I think this one has had at some point, but definitely does not have right now. And yeah, she just has really gorgeous, she does have the tendency to put out some leaves sometimes that have this kind of like more dark sections to it. Like this one right over here is more on the dark side with the silver splash, but I still think that looks really nice. And I really like the balance of that. A lot of times where it's like got a portion of it that's like very silver and then a portion of it that's a little bit darker, things like that. I will say that if you keep this in really bright light, those portions of the leaves do not get nearly as dark as when you keep them in lower light. Like you see how like kind of like dark and cool toned that portion of the leaf is down here. And then when she starts getting into higher light, you see how it gets a little bit lighter here at the top. So just something to consider. All right, our last one that we're going to talk about for right now is my Hoya Vitellinoides. I talk about this all the time because this one is really tripping me out by how giant it is getting and all these huge leaves that it's putting out. I don't know. I mean, I definitely talked about this leaf when I put this one out because holy moly. Okay, this is going to have to get out of the way. Holy moly, the size of this leaf. And like I said, I had really wished that it would stay really dark, and it has. It has stayed really dark. Look at how gorgeous that is and shiny. And this is a very thick-leaved Hoya. And just the size of that, even these other leaves that are not nearly as big are still big. Like this one has giant leaves. If you like big-leaved Hoyas that are easygoing, this is the one for you. And it does show kind of like different traits depending. I guess this is probably from the light because I've moved this one around all over the place because I'm trying to accommodate its growth, because not only is it putting out these giant leaves, but it has like tendrils going everywhere. Yes, that is, I guess that would be a downside, is like trying to figure out where this one is going to fit because of its like really vigorous growth and the size of the leaves that are coming out of here. And these are thick, like tanky leaves. They're just knocking all my other plants all over the place. They're not getting, no one's getting light except for this guy, wherever you put it, especially when it starts growing like this. But you can see like at the top how this is really veiny, kind of like Callistophylla-y looking. And then you have leaves that are like still lighter, but the veining is not intense. It's more of like just a little bit of a splash on there. And then you have the leaves like that really big one that are just like super dark and a little purpley. And it's just really interesting. Like, I think that's one of the fun parts about growing Hoya is they tend to be really versatile like that, where they'll put out different growth that looks a little bit different depending on like the lighting conditions and stuff. And I think that that's it's more noticeable than in other plants. Like other plants will do that to an extent, but it's like really noticeable in Hoya. So it's really fun to grow them and just see what they're doing. But yeah, I love this one. This is another, again, one of my all-time favorite Hoyas. I mean, obviously, like, I'm going to talk about the ones that I really love right now, and like the updates are exciting me. But this one, yeah, man, after this leaf popped out, that just like solidified my interest in this one. And now she is one of the top ones on my priority list. All right, y'all, I think that is all the interesting updates that I have for right now. I am now going to go and take the listing photos for the restock, which I'm going to be doing. I'm thinking probably Friday at 8 p.m. That's normally what I do. Friday at 8 p.m. because there's like enough time for all time zones to check things out and see if there's anything they want to pick up. So just to be considerate to everyone within the United States, I'm going to do a little bit later in the day, 8 p.m. on Friday is the tentative restock date. You can also my shop information, or my shops, because I'm on Palm Street and Etsy, and we have our website, which is shadowandspace.com. All of that information will be down in the description. If you're interested in more concrete updates and like release times and restock alerts, you can go to the website and sign up for those. There's like, I have the website paused right now because I've been kind of getting things together for this restock. So when you go to the website, it just has the box where you can sign up for the email updates. So you can sign up for those, or if you want to follow me over at Instagram at Leaves with Less, I will always post over there when we do a website restock as well. But thank you so much for sticking around and checking out this video. And if you want to see more content like this from me, please please subscribe. It means so much to me and it helps the channel so much, y'all. And I will see y'all in the next one and hopefully at the restock. Okay, bye.